Welcome to my latest tutorial. If you're new to my channel, I'm glad you're here. And thank you so much to the many new subscribers since my last video. This new pattern is so pretty, it's loaded with texture and lots of fun stitches. This hat has just the right amount of slouch, and I think you're really going to enjoy making this one. For this video, I used an I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's a 7-ounce number 4 yarn in sun gold. Using a 7-ounce versus a 3 or 4 ounce created somewhat of a longer slouch. So keep that in mind when choosing which yarn you'll be using. The stitches we're going to be using are listed here, and I'll go over each one as we get to them. This hat is made top down, so if you're ready to start with the crown, let's begin.
Okay, I'm starting this crown just like I always do, with the chain 5, 3, 4, 5. And then you just slip stitch in that first chain, like that. Go ahead and chain 1. And that's just how you start this little thing. Pull it apart, and that hole right there in the center is what we're going to be working into for round 1. So see for that. Okay, I'm going to breeze through this like I said, because I'm sure y'all all know how to do it. Round 1 is just 10 double crochets into this hole, all just into that center hole. 10 double crochets, slip stitch to join in the first double crochet when you get back around, and that'll be 10 stitches, and then we'll go to round 2. Okay, here's our 10 stitches for row 1. And like I said, we're increasing by 10 each time until we get to 70. So round 2, and we're always going to start in that where we chain into our first double crochet. Round 2 is just 2 double crochets into each of our 10 stitches, just like that. Go into each stitch and put 2 double crochets. When you finish, you'll slip stitch to join in your first double crochet, and we'll end row 2 with 20 stitches. So 2 double crochets each stitch around, slip stitch in that first double crochet, and we'll go to row 3. Okay, here's our 20 stitches. If I don't say, go ahead and chain 1, either at the end of your round or at the beginning of your next round. So row 3, we're going to increase to 30 stitches, and we'll put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then we put 1 in the next stitch, and you repeat that all the way around. 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch. So there's 2 there, 1 there, 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. Slip stitch into that first double crochet, and at the end of row 3 we'll have 30 stitches. And we'll go to row 4. Okay, row 4, we will do 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. This is just basic increases like you would do anytime you're doing increases, especially of 70. So 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the next, 1 in the next. 2 double crochets, 1, 1. 2 double crochets, 1, 1. All the way around. Slip stitch to join in this first double crochet. At the end of row 4, we'll have 40. See you for row 5. Okay, row 5, start the same way. 2 double crochets in that first stitch where you slip stitch to join. 1 and 2. Then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. At the end of this row, we'll have 50. So 1, 1, and 1. Repeat that all the way around. 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the next 3. 2 in the next stitch, 1 in the next 3. All the way around. Slip stitch into that first double crochet. At the end of row 5, we're going to have 50 stitches. Almost done with our crown. See you for 6. All right, row 6. Increasing again. Start with 2 double crochets in your first stitch. And y'all are chaining 1, I'm assuming, before you start. So 2 in the first one, 1 in the next 4. And that's what we'll do all the way around. 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 4. Repeat that all the way around. Slip stitch to join into your first double crochet over here. And we'll have 60 at the end of this row. So 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next 4. Okay, see you for 7, which is our last increase. Okay, row 7, the last row of increase before we start the fun stuff. Row 7, just like all the other ones, we put 2 double crochets in the first stitch. Then we'll do 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. We'll do that all the way around. 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Slip stitch to join in that first double crochet when you get to the end of your row. Let's see, I've done 2 there, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch to join in that first double crochet, chain 1. We'll have 70 stitches and we will start the pretty part of our hat. So 2 double crochets in the first, 1 in the next 5, 2 in the next, 1 in the next 5, all the way around. Slip stitch to join in your first double crochet, chain 1. I'll see you for row 8. Okay, here's my 70 stitches, and it measures about 7 to 7¼ inches, which I think is about right. So that's our crown. Now we're going to start the body of our hat. So row 8, we're doing an extended double crochet, and then we'll chain 1, and of course when you chain 1, you skip 1. So we'll start with an extended double crochet where you just go through 1, you go through 2, you go through 2. Chain 1, skip the next one, and do it again. Another extended double crochet. Go through 1, go through 2, go through 2. Chain 1, skip 1, do it again. We'll do that all the way around. An extended half double crochet, a chain 1, a skip 1, and do it again. So that's our sequence for this row. Extended half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way around. You'll end the row with an extended half double crochet. You'll chain 1, you'll skip the last space, and you'll slip stitch to join in the top of your first extended half double crochet. I hope I said that right. So extended half double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, extended half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way around. And you should end with an extended half double crochet, a chain, skip that last stitch, slip stitch to join, and we'll go into row 9. Okay, row 9. Row 9, we're using an extended half double crochet, and we'll put 1 stitch all the way in each stitch all the way around, but we're dealing with chains. So we'll do the extended half double crochet in our double crochet stitch. Then we'll do the extended half double crochet around this chain stitch, and then put the next one in the double crochet stitch. So you'll do 1 in the stitch and 1 around the chain. So the extended half double crochet is just you pull through 1 and then you pull through all 3. Then now we have our chain, so we go just all the way around the chain, do your extended half double crochet. Then here's our extended double crochet from the row before, and we'll just do a regular extended half double crochet in that double crochet stitch. Does that make sense? Now we work around the chain with the extended half. Then we put the next one in that next stitch from the previous row. So you're doing the extended half double crochet in each stitch or all the way around. It's just 1 is in the double crochet from the previous row, and then the next one is around that chain stitch in between the double crochet stitches. So around it and then through it, around it and through it. So in each little hole, you'll have an extended half double crochet in that hole, and then you work it through the half double crochet stitch. The double crochet stitch. Does that make sense? So in it, around it. Pull through 1, pull through 3. In the double crochet stitch, pull through 1, pull through 3, around the chain stitch in that hole. Pull through 1, pull through 3. We'll do that all the way around. Should have 70 stitches. When you get to the end, we'll slip stitch to join in our first extended half double crochet. We're going to stay at 70 stitches the whole way, so that's going to be easy. So extended half double crochet, then around the chain stitch, the next one in the double crochet, around the chain stitch, in the double crochet. So that's row 9, and I'll see you for row 10. Okay, row 10. Row 10 will be easier than the last two. We're going to stick with the extended half double crochet, but we're going to do extended half double crochet third loop just in each stitch around. And I don't think I mentioned that this pattern is a 6-row repeat. So half double crochet third loop, y'all know how to do it, but keep it with the extended half double crochet where you pull through 1 and then you pull through all 3. But this pattern is just a 6-row repeat, and we only do them twice. So actually it's going to work up pretty quickly. And I am kind of going through this rapidly. I'm not spending a lot of time explaining each row. And I'm doing that purposely because I did label this as an intermediate, and I don't feel like I've got to hold anybody's hand and, just go into super detail on what I'm doing. I know y'all know what you're doing. So extended half double crochet third loop, each stitch around. We're at 70 stitches. And for whatever reason, it seems like every time I make this hat, I'm having a hard time with my stitch count. But it's just one of those that it doesn't matter that much. I'm a no stress crochet. If you get to the end and you have 69, just throw another one in there to keep it at 70 or whatever. But for some reason, I've just had a hard time with my stitch count. But row 10, extended half double crochet third loop, each of your 70 stitches around. When you get to the end, slip stitch to join in your first half double crochet, chain 1, we'll go into row 11. See you then. Okay, we're on row 11, which is the 4th row in our 6-row repeat. This hat has a lot of texture, so if you like textured hats, you're going to love this one. We just finished our extended half double crochet third loop that gave us our nice little ridge that I love so much. And row 11 is a puff stitch. And it's going to end up with 9 loops on your hook. So you just do it 4 times. You yarn over, you pull up, you have 3. Yarn over, pull it up, you have 5. Yarn over, pull it up, you have 7. One last time. You yarn over, pull it up, you have 9 loops on your hook. You pull through all 9. You secure it with the chain, skip the next stitch, do it again. You just yarn over and pull up 4 times, and then that gives you 9 loops on your hook. That's 3 and 4. You pull through all 9. You secure it with the chain, you skip the next stitch, and you do it again. You'll end the row just like that. You'll do a chain, the puff stitch, secure it with your chain, and then you'll slip stitch to join in the top of your first puff stitch. Pull it through all 9, chain 1, skip 1, puff stitch. We'll do that all the way around. When you get to the end, you're next to the last stitch, you'll have the puff stitch. You'll chain, so you'll skip that last one, and then you slip stitch to join in the top of your first puff stitch. So that's row 11, puff stitch with 9 loops on your hook, secure it kind of with a chain, skip the next stitch, do another puff stitch. Do that all the way around, and I'll see you for row 12. Okay, we're on row 12. We just finished our pretty puff stitch row. And if this looks different, if the lighting looks different, it's because my battery literally died when I was showing you this row and I had to switch phones. So if it looks funny, I apologize. Row 12 and 13 are going to be repeats of our two extended half double crochet rows that we did here. The only difference is, if you remember when we did the extended half double crochet on top of the extended double crochet, we did our stitch around the chain. In this row, row 12, we're just going to do the extended half double crochet through the chain just like a regular stitch. So we're not going to be going around, we're going to be going through. Oops. So the extended half double crochet, you pull through one, you pull through two. Here's our chain, pull through three. Here's our chain, we're just going to go in it as a regular stitch. Pull through one, pull through three. Here's the top of our puff stitch. Pull through one, pull through three, and then just in the chain stitch as if it's a regular stitch, not around it. So that's row 12, extended half double crochet, each stitch around, we're still at 70. And then our next row, row 13, will be the extended half double crochet third loop in each stitch, and that'll be the end of our 6 row repeat. So again, row 12 is just extended half double crochet in each stitch around, go through your chain, not around it like we did before. Slip stitch to join in your first half double crochet at the end of the row, chain one, and I'll see you back for row 13. Okay, we're on row 13, which again is the 6th row in our 6 row repeat. And so after row 13, we're just going to do these 6 rows again before we do a very simple couple of rows on the end, not really a brim, but just sort of an end. So row 13 is a repeat of up here where we are doing our half double crochet third loop. In that first one, I usually just stick it in the back loop. So extended half double crochet third loop. I think I did a regular half double crochet on that first one. But extended half double crochet third loop, each stitch around, super simple. And I just mentioned a while ago that I had to switch phones and the lighting might be weird. I think the audio might be weird too. It sounds a little wacky to me. I do apologize for that. I'm hoping my other phone charges quickly and I can switch back to that and fix the audio and the lighting. So row 13, extended half double crochet third loop, each stitch around, that ends our 6 row repeat. So for rows 14 through 19, I'm going to go through those quickly because it's literally a repeat of these 6 rows. So row 13, extended half double crochet third loop, each stitch around. When you get to the end, slip stitch to join in this first extended half double crochet. And I'll see you for the second half of this repeat. See you then. Okay, we're on row 14. We finished our 6 row repeat, which started with the extended double crochet, and then 6 rows. Our last one we just did was the extended half double crochet third loop. So for rows 14 through 19, we're just going to repeat these 6 rows. So what I'm going to do for each of the rows, I'm just going to quickly start you off just to remind you of the stitch. I'll throw the little instruction card in, and we'll just quickly go over those because it's just literally a repeat of these. So 14, we're repeating this double crochet, extended double crochet stitch where we do the extended double crochet where you pull through 1, you pull through 2, you pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip 1 and do it again. And we do that all the way around just like before. Pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain, skip, do it again. When you get to the end, slip stitch to join in this first extended double crochet, and I'll see you for row 15. Okay, row 15 is an extended half double crochet row, like this one. And this is the row where we do the extended half double crochet in the double crochet stitch from the previous row, pull through 1, pull through 3. Then for the chain area, we're working around the chain, just like we did before. So through the double crochet stitch, like a regular stitch, pull through 1, pull through 3, around the chain area, just like that, just like we did before. Do that all the way around, slip stitch to join in your first half double crochet, and we'll go on to 16. Okay, row 16 is our extended half double crochet third loop row. And I should have mentioned this before. There's a couple of rows that end with a stitch and then a chain, like our puff stitch row and the one we just did, the extended half double crochet. You end with a stitch and then a chain and then you slip stitch. So in the rows following those, make sure, make sure you put your final stitch in or around that chain. If your stitch count isn't coming out right, that might be the problem, because sometimes we forget that chain stitch there. Anyway, row 16 is an extended half double crochet third loop, like regular half double crochet third loop, but the extended way. Each stitch around, slip stitch to join in the first one, pull through 1, pull through 3, half double crochet, third loop all the way around, slip stitch to join in that first half double crochet when you get to the end, and we'll breeze on through to row 17 and we're closing in. See you then. Okay, row 17 is a repeat of our puff stitch row. And in the puff stitch row, we just yarn over and go through and pull up a loop 4 times until we have 9 loops on our hook. Then we pull through all 9, we chain 1, which kind of secures your puff stitch, pull it through all 9, chain 1, skip 1, and then do it again. So we skip that one and go in here. So we do that all the way around, puff stitch with 9 loops on your hook, chain 1, skip 1, all the way around. You'll end that way too. Your next to the last stitch will be a puff stitch. You'll chain 1, skip that last stitch, and then slip stitch to join in the top of your first puff stitch. Okay, so that's row 17. I'll see you for 18. Okay, we're on row 18. We just have 18 and 19, and then just a couple of rows of sort of a semi brim. 18 is our extended half double crochet row, and we place them in every stitch around. You remember the puff stitch row has a chain, but we're treating it just as a stitch. Go into the chain like a regular stitch, not around it. So an extended half double crochet, each stitch around. Don't forget your chain space at the very end of the row, because the puff stitch row ended with the chain, so make sure you put one in there. So half double crochet, extended half double crochet, each stitch around, slip stitch to join in your first half double crochet, chain 1, and I'll see you back for our last row, row 19. See you then. Okay, this is row 19, which is our final row of our the body of our hat, and it's the end row of our second repeat. So row 19, and it is the extended half double crochet third loop. So we've done that a few times before, so it's exact same thing. Extended half double crochet third loop in each stitch around, slip stitch to join to the first half double crochet when you get to the end, and that'll be the end of the body of our hat. And then when we come back, I'll show you how I'm going to end it. It's not really like a stretchy kind of ribbed brim. It's just a little couple of rows of an ending stitch. So extended half double crochet third loop, each stitch around, slip stitch to join in that first stitch, chain 1, and I'll see you back to end our hat. Okay, so this is the crown and body of the hat. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, this hat does have a slouch to it. It's not like a huge slouch, but it does have a slouch. So because of that, And because it's such a heavily textured hat, the pattern I wrote has a very simple edging to it. All I'm going to do is 2 or 3 rows of a single crochet in the back loop. And that gives it just, I don't know, I tried several different types of brims, and this just simple single crochet back loop only, 2 or 3 rows, seemed to just be a good finishing for this type of hat. Now, of course, if you want it to have a longer slouch in the back, do a longer brim. You could do a regular ribbed brim, or a front and back post haftable crochet brim, whatever you would like to do. But I am, in the pictures that I showed you at the beginning, just going to do 2 or 3. I can't remember which I did. I think I did 3. I don't know. I'll stop at 2 and see how that looks, and if not, I'll do 3. But just simply single crochet, back loop only in each stitch around, and it just gives just a little finished bottom to the hat. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll do 3 rows, single crochet back loop only, and when I finish that, we'll get back together and we'll look at our finished hat. See you then. Okay, so here's the finished hat. I'm hand holding this, so I hope it's not too shaky. I just couldn't fit it in the frame on my tripod. This is the finished hat. Here's I did 3 rows of the single crochet back loop for the finish, because I just didn't feel like it needed any kind of fancy brim, because there's so much texture in this hat with our extended double crochets in the chain spaces, with our puff stitches, and with our extended half double crochet back loop only, or third loop, I'm sorry, half double crochet third loop. It's just got a lot of texture. It's just a fun, pretty hat, and it does have a nice slouch on it. So this is the brim I decided to do. I think it finished it off really nicely. It didn't need anything fancy at the bottom because there's so much going on in the hat. So thank you for joining me with this. I hope you enjoyed doing the tutorial with me as much as I enjoyed showing it to you. If you like it and you like my other videos, please consider subscribing, and thank you to all of those who have subscribed since the last video. Hit that like button, and once you subscribe, you'll always get notifications when the next video comes out. Until the next time, happy hooking.